when you ban a message from Team Trump 3 months before a presidential election, there ought to be a very good reason. After all, you are essentially censoring the President of the United States. You're telling voters you are not allowed to see this message. Well, it has come to this. Facebook and Twitter took down a Trump video post in which he had said children are, quote, almost immune from this disease, as in the virus. That is considered harmful misinformation. Before it was taken down, it was viewed by, 450,000 times. Were those people who viewed it put in danger? Were they harmed? Is our society at risk because of those couple of words? I don't think so. What those people saw was a statement of fact. Children are less susceptible to the virus. They are less likely to get it. Viewers saw the president discussing back to school. Reopening the schools is a big election issue, and so is his performance on the virus. And yet, he is censored. That is, he's silenced. Whatever happened to Facebook as a free speech platform? Mark Zuckerberg took that position. He told Congress last week, Facebook aims to be a platform for all ideas. I guess he caved. He has now censored the president's campaign. It makes you wonder who really runs Facebook. Just who decided that saying children are almost immune is harmful misinformation? Who did that? And why did they do it? In the words of the president's deputy press secretary, quote, another day, another display of Silicon Valley's flagrant bias against this president, where the rules are only enforced in one direction. But why don't you be the judge? Here's the clip that made Facebook and Twitter censor the President of the United States. Roll it.
This thing's going away. It will go away like things go away, and my view is that schools should be open. If you look at children, children are almost, and I would almost say definitely, but almost immune from this disease.
That was it. Just saw it right there. That was the clip, the harmful clip, banned on Facebook and Twitter. Susan, this is a developing story. Is there anything new on this right now?
Well, we know that Facebook has been hesitant for many years to shield or police President Trump's posts, saying that they were not the arbiters of truth. The same thing for Twitter as well, because for years you've heard celebrities and politicians calling for the platform to ban President Trump. So after towing the balance beam for years, especially as we head into this November vote, and with that 1,000-company boycott that Facebook is now encountering, I guess both Facebook and Twitter have been forced to choose, and they seem to be leaning towards the side that impacts their advertising dollars the most. Now, Facebook recently said in their earnings that a few of the advertisers have come back after that pause in July. That includes Puma and North Face, but the policing on the platform has noticeably picked up in recent months, including the removal of Trump ads that Facebook claimed contained symbols linked back to the Nazi regime and the use of the black and white babies hugging in the street. Now, Twitter started with the fact-checking of Trump's mail-in ballots, remember that? Those tweets, and then shielding his Minneapolis tweets. And Twitter also announcing last year that they are not allowing political ads this year in 2020 heading into November. Facebook also considering banning now political ads, especially in the days running up to the November votes. So there's a big difference, by the way, I should point out to our viewers, Stu, in user numbers, despite the fact that Twitter said that they had record growth in daily active users during COVID, only 186 million visitors each and every day on Twitter. Facebook has more than 3 billion visiting their properties around the world each and every month.
It just makes it even more important when you see political censorship. Now, that is my opinion. I think it's political censorship. Okay, let's move on from there. I want to bring in tech watcher Will Reinhardt. Now, I just said it. I think this is political censorship. I think what we're seeing emerge here is big tech united and unanimously hating the president. Am I going too far?
I mean, personally, I think that this is an odd hill to die on, right? That obviously Twitter and Facebook for the last year especially have been taking a much more hands-on approach to a lot of these sorts of statements from the president. And this seems to me to be kind of an escalation in this war between the two. And I don't understand it, to be very honest. I don't know why, at least previously, Twitter and Facebook have, flagged these posters, at least had some sort of disclaimer on it. I don't know why they didn't do that.
Well, it could be that they, like Facebook, for example, is responding to internal challenges to the Zuckerberg. and saying, look, wait a minute, we're not standing for this. We don't want the president on this flat. I mean, that could be happening here.
It could be. It could be happening. And as you suggested, there also could be this tension with advertisers and with growing pressure. I mean, we do know that these companies do, obviously, and I think it's probably a good thing that, when consumers react and users react, there is a pushback by the platforms themselves. So this could be a pressure from the people that they see and feel is their own community.
Won't it enhance political pressure on big tech to reorganize, do something about this?
Yes, I don't think that this is a good move overall for these two companies, because this just puts even more pressure. We saw this again last week, as you had suggested, with the antitrust hearings, which is what I was following pretty closely. This idea and this issue of bias kept on coming up over and over again, despite this being a fundamentally the hearing itself was about competition. So this problem of free speech and bias really is perennially following these companies, and this really doesn't help their case if they're trying to suggest, in the end of the day, that that they don't need new regulation. So I think that this is really what they've suggested here. Really, as I said, is really it's an odd hill to die on. I don't know why that they're doing this particular move.
All right. Well, Reinhard, thanks for joining us this morning. We appreciate it. I know you jumped in at the last minute. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Back